What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Isaiah back with another video, and in this video, I want to talk about objections and rebuttals, how to handle rejections, how to handle rebuttals when we're on the phone, when we're dealing with a seller, when they want to sell their house. Okay, they want to sell their house. Uh, a lot of beginners, they get fear of being on the phone, fear of rejection, don't know what to say, choke up on their words, um kind of get lost, kind of just freestyle and say things that they shouldn't say, make offers too soon. So I want to help y'all in this video, give y'all some knowledge, some wisdom, and just what I do, how I handle objections. Okay, so let's get into it. Also, if you want to work with me one-on-one, all right. You can work with me one on one in my Discord. I'll work with you one on one every day, coaching you through the calls, what to say, how to say it. If you want to join the Discord, just email me. My email will be in the description. All right, let's go. Let me share my screen. Okay. So let's go over here. Objections. This is from yesterday's morning meeting. Okay. So objections and rebuttals, right? There's four ways that they could uh respond to you, right? They have silence, there's complaints, there's reactionary defense responses or RDRs, which I'm gonna get into, or just a flat out objection. All right. When they're silent, okay, when you give them an offer and you just is silent, first of all, just know, like, don't mistake their silence for hesitation, but also sit in silence. When you ask them a question, even if it's not, you didn't give them an offer yet, you ask them a question. Why are you looking to sell the house? How long have you been thinking about selling the house? How long have you and your wife been married, or something like that? Whatever question you ask, don't be afraid to sit in silence. Don't be afraid of a little bit of awkward silence. Because if you fear the awkward silence, you try to talk, word vomit, you're going to ruin everything. You can be like, this dude, what is he talking about? They're going to be like, this dude isn't confident. He doesn't have faith in himself. Right? So don't be afraid to sit in silence, bro. Sometimes you need to show silence just to show confidence, right? Uh, if you do hear silence at the end of, after you make an offer, just move forward. Just move forward, assume the sale, assume the close. All right, that's what I do. So if you say, all right, just came back from my underwriters, they approved $150,000. Okay, so we could close on February the 6th. What my underwriter is going to do now is they're going to write up an agreement. Okay, I'm going to fill that information out, or they're going to fill that information out. Let me get your email and your name just so I know have it and know how to spell it correctly. How do you spell that? Or something, you move on. You move on. Like, you assume the sale. So if you say my underwriters just came back with $150,000. What they're going to do now is my underwriters are going to prepare an agreement. Let me get your name and your email. That way I know how to spell it correctly and they could put it in the agreement. How do you spell your name? Just move forward with it. Assume the sale. Okay? Don't be like, is that good? Is that okay? Don't don't say that, because then you're giving them a window to be like, no, that's not okay. You know, if they object, they're gonna object either way. But if you move forward with the sale and assume the close, move forward, make them feel comfortable, you built a friend, they're dealing with someone they like, trust, and want to do business with, you're good to just move forward and assume the sale. All right, if it's a complaint, agree, acknowledge, move forward. With almost everything, every objection, complaint, reactionary defense response, you want to agree, okay? No, don't do yeah, but, do yes and, or don't do no but, do yes and. Man, that's too low for my house. Yes. And with this low offer, it might be a little bit lower, but what we're going to give you is a quick close. We're going to cover all the closing costs for you, and you don't have to make any of the repairs. Also, there's no commissions, no realtor commissions taken out, so you won't have to come out of pocket at all. So this number is going to be a net number to you in the bank, right? And you could also explain to them, like, if they were to go with a realtor and get a higher offer, they probably would have to put more money into the property. Commissions would be taken out for a realtor. They're probably going to pay some closing costs too. So in the end, they're probably going to get the same amount anyways, except doing it this way with me, you're saving time. It's more convenient. You don't have to go through all that hassle and you don't have to come out of pocket for anything. Okay. Um, Always yes and not no but, right? If they say, you know, I need to think about it. Andy Elliott says, of course you need to think about it. I don't think I've given you enough information for you to not think about it. What I want to do is go over a quick 5-minute proposal. In this case, the 5-minute offer, whatever, go to my underwriters. That way, when you go home or you talk to your wife, you truly have something to think about. Would that be fair? Something like that. Always agree with them. Let them know that they are heard. Okay. Let them know that you hear them because that's the main thing. Sometimes people just don't want to, or sometimes people just don't feel heard. They just want to feel heard. That's like a basic human need. We want to feel like somebody's listening, somebody's understanding. I went through that with a seller I was talking to the other day, right? She was like, Isaiah, I've had the same conversation. I've had thousands of investors call me. You are the only person who's ever listened to me, right? We were on the phone for like an hour, and it got to a point to where I was just genuinely there listening to her. I do that with almost pretty much every seller. I'm always listening. I'm always there, always building a genuine friendship. She's like, Isaiah, you are the first person who's ever actually listened to me and actually listened to what I had to say, and weren't just trying to move forward with the sale and lowball me. So always let them know that they are heard. You're here for them. You're here to solve their issues. You're not just here to scam them, right? We're not here to scam anybody, but let them know that you're a real person. Okay. The longer you sit on a complaint, the longer you sit on a complaint, the more likely it will become a true objection. That's true, right? If they say, "Oh, I want more money," that's just a complaint. It's not really an objection. If they say, "I need more money to do this," that's an objection. But if they say, I don't like that, that's a complaint. If they use the same complaint twice, it's probably a real objection, though. Okay, reactionary defense response. Okay. Uh, these are automatic psychological strategies people use without thinking twice as defense mechanisms. I got this from Eric Klein. He got it from Grant Cardone. It's a real thing. Reactionary defense response. It's like all right, so people use this when they don't trust you, they think they don't have time, or they don't want to be pressured. So I'm just looking. When you go into the store, or like when I go into a store, I don't just go into stores, right? I don't just go into random stores just looking. When I go to a store, when I leave my house, it's for a specific reason. I'm on a mission. I came here for this, right? So if I go into a store and I say, no, I'm just looking, it's just a reactionary defense response, right? It's just basically a way for me saying, I don't want you to just leave me alone. That's it. So it's like I got it. Leave me alone. I don't need it. I don't need you. Get away from me. I don't want you to sell me. Get out of my face. That's all it is. I don't even think. I'm just like, no, get okay, I'm good. Right? A real salesperson is gonna stick around, find out the real reason why I'm in the store, and then try to upsell me on something, whatever the case may be. So I don't do business over the phone. Reactionary defense response, they don't really mean it. Okay. Um, I'm not gonna sell my house unless you come and look at it in person. They don't mean that. It's just a reactionary defense response. Okay. That just means that they don't trust you yet. Okay. Or they just feel like they don't want to be pressured. No pressure. No pressure. I'm here to buy your house as is. Cover all the closing costs. Okay. You have 2 minutes to make me an offer. Hear this one a lot. Okay. It's just a reactionary defense response. They don't mean it. They don't mean it. Okay. If they do mean it, okay, um, just schedule a time to talk to them again. But if they're like, yeah, you got 2 minutes to offer me a phone and they're just trying to be rude, don't take offense to it. Don't take it personal. They're just tired of talking to investors. Show them that you're different. I don't work with investors. Heard this one a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. Uh, they don't mean it. They don't mean it. They're just tired of investors. They're feeling like investors come and they try to rip them off. Show them that you're different. Take the time, build your value. Okay. These usually happen early on in the phone call, but they can happen on any point depending on you. So usually after I'm like 30 minutes, 40 minutes into the phone call, I don't get reactionary defense responses anymore because I've built rapport. Do I still get them sometimes? Yeah. But most of the time I'm building friendships. They get to know me, they know about me, they know where I'm from, they know I've overcame a lot of things, they know I moved to Houston, they know I all this others, they know me. They like me and they trust me. I get them to trust me, right? They could hear the confidence in my voice, the conviction. They know I'm really him. I'm not one of them. So, how do you overcome an RDR? Don't take it personal. They have the right to be cautious and skeptical. That's true. That's true. They do have the right to be cautious and skeptical, right? They're selling their house over the phone. Hell yeah, I'd be skeptical. What? Come on, you gotta give them room or like allow them the space to whatever they want to do. It's our job to make them feel comfortable and not cautious anymore. It's our job to bring their guard down. Remember that. It's not directed at you, it's directed at everyone else who has hurt and burned them. That's so true. They're not when you answer the phone 2 seconds and they're like, "What the do you want? I don't work with investors. You got 2 minutes to make me an offer." Is that really directed at you? No, he doesn't even know your name yet. He doesn't even know who you are. He doesn't know what you've been through. He doesn't know where you're at. Nothing. That's not directed at you. That's directed to everybody else who's called him before you. And it's our job to show him, "Hey, I could tell you get these calls a lot, right? Am I the first or fifth person to call you today?" You know, um, I could promise you one thing, Mr. Seller. This phone call will not be like any of the other phone calls, right? Whatever. Show them you're different. Form a friendship. I teach all this in my Discord. I'm just like speeding through this right now. So don't take it personal. It's not directed at you. Um, it's our job to show them that we're different, make them feel comfortable. We're him, not one of them. Okay. If it's a reactionary defense response, you could disregard it, right? You have 2 minutes to make me a phone call. They don't really mean that. You could disregard it. You really can. Move past it, dig deeper. Always keep a positive attitude. Always keep a positive attitude. Once you get a bad attitude and you try to argue with them, it's over with. You might as well hang up the phone. You just wasted your time. You're trying to argue with a seller? Come on, bro. You should know better than that. You should know better, right? Arguing with the seller, you're just wasting your own time and the seller's time. You're wasting everybody's time. You're not getting nowhere. You ain't making no money arguing with any sellers. Okay? Dig deeper. Keep a positive attitude. Move past it. Overcome it. Objections. Agree, acknowledge, address, and move forward. That's it. Agree, acknowledge, move forward. Okay, I have a little drawing or something that I want to show y'all. All right. But never argue with the prospect. Form a friendship. Stick to the basics. Rapport is king. Help educate them. Never try to prove them wrong. Okay. Never try to prove them wrong. Educate them. If they say, "Oh, my neighbor's house sold for this much," it's our job not to argue with them, but to educate them. "Okay, Mr. Seller, this is why that house sold for this much because it's this square feet and it's all fixed up. Your house is half the size of that house and it's not fixed up." Right? Say it not with a condescending tone of voice, but with a helpful tone of voice. Okay? Get over the fear of rejection. Rule number 1. Don't choke up, stutter, you know. I have objection handlers in my Discord that I let all my students go over and use. Ask the right questions, use them as ammunition, have ammo ready. So if they're talking about, "I need to think about it," by the time you get to the end of the phone call, be like, "Mr. Seller, you've already told me that you and your wife have been thinking about selling the house for 6 months. You had 6 offers already. You're desperate to sell the house. You said you want to sell the house so you could move to California to move closer to your daughter. You don't need to think about it. You already made up that your mind that you want to sell the house. You're selling the house. It's not a matter of if you're going to sell the house, it's a matter of when. And when is when the deal is right. Right? Right. So let me just go to my underwriters, see what they could do, right? And I could see if we can make this work for both of us. If we get to a number that makes sense for both of us, would you be willing to move forward today? Stuff like that. If they're still on the phone, they're still interested. That's cool. If they haven't hung up the phone on you, they're still interested. Actually, by the end of every phone call, you should have an offensive offer, but you should have built a friendship so good that they don't hang up on you no matter how offensive the offer is. Okay? I wanted to make this. This is the process of my script. The intro, fact find, pitch, offer, close, right? This is from Eric Klein. This is how I formulated my script, right? This is all the script. At times, we have to have the skill set to bring it off script and talk about things that interest them and interest you, right? This is called building rapport. A lot of times people get caught up in this, or they let the seller ramble on for 48 minutes and they haven't talked about anything else. It's a skill we have to go off script. We can't just run through the whole script. You don't do that. You have to take you have to build skill, take the time to go off the script to talk about something that's important to them and important to you, and you could relate, you could build rapport. How many, oh really, you married, or who else's name is on the title? Really? How long you guys been married? Wow, 72 years? Wow. Wow, you don't hear that often. How do you stay married for 72 years? Stuff like that. You start talking about all that, da 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 da. Just so I don't have to keep calling her your wife. What's your wife's name? Wow, that's a pretty name. Wow, I like that. My sister's name is that name. Okay? Have the skills to do that. Build take time on here, but have the skills and the knowledge and the discernment to bring it back. Always bring it back to the script. Move forward. Okay, kids. How many kids you got? Wow. You know? Don't sound fake, but actually build a rapport, talk about these things, and have stories, third party stories that you can relate to. You know, I got 2 kids. How do you do it? 7 kids? How do you do it? How do you have the time, Mr. Seller? But then bring it back to the close. I don't have any kids, by the way. I'm just saying. But talk about these things, bring it back to the close. Now, complaints, address it, acknowledge it, and move forward. Never just brush it off. Never just brush off their objections. Okay? If they have a real objection, address it and acknowledge it. If you just brush it off like they didn't say anything, they're gonna be like, what? They're gonna feel like you're not listening. They're gonna feel like you didn't really hear them. They're gonna feel like you don't really care. You have to show them that you care. So address it, acknowledge it, and then boom, take it right back to the script. Oh, you have an offer? I have an objection. Address it, acknowledge it. I understand where you're coming from, Mr. Seller. That is a valid objection. Actually, I get that objection a lot. And in those cases, this is what happened. And when those people had that concern, we were able to do this for them, and this is the result they got. So, based on that, this is what I could do for you. Boom, bring it back to the close. Okay? Dogs? I have dogs. What's your dog's name? Really? That's my dog's name. That's amazing. Boom, bring it back to the close. But have discernment to spend the amount of time on all of these things. All right? Whoops. But take time to talk about all of these things and then bring it back to the script. Go off the script, bring it back to the script. Go off the script, take it back to the script. Every single phone call you should be on at least minimum. If the seller's an a-hole and he just made you speed through it, it should be a minimum of 20 to 25 minutes. That's minimum, right? We want to spend at least 30 minutes to an hour and a half on the phone. 30 minutes to an hour and a half on the phone every time with these sellers, bro. We have to have a list of things that we can talk about, that we can relate to the seller about. Use third party stories, always paint pictures. Use third party stories about situations that you've dealt with other sellers, and show them, hey, this ain't my first rodeo. Matter of fact, we've helped somebody just like you in your exact situation. It's crazy. It's actually crazy how the last 3 houses that we have bought were people who were just like you, exactly like you, in your exact same situation. That's coincidental. I guess the stars are just aligned. We're just meant to help people just like you in your exact situation. Matter of fact, this is how we were able to help them, and this is the problems that they were able to solve. This is what we could do for you. Boom, bring it to the close. Bring it back to the script. Okay? Rapport is king. If you hear an objection, if you hear a RDR, or if you hear a complaint, agree, acknowledge, address, always move forward. Move forward to the close. Okay? I teach all of this in my Discord. You could ask anybody in my Discord. You could ask anybody. They'll tell you. It's that sauce. I don't care if you've never done it before. I don't care if you've never got on the phones before. I don't care about whoever you are, wherever you're at. I'm going to work with you and we're going to build you up to be the best person that you could be. Plus, we're going to get a wholesale deal. Okay. First, we're going to get a wholesale deal, but along the way, you will be the best version of yourself. Okay. We're all continually growing, trying to be the best version of ourselves. We're always trying to improve every single day, get 1% better. I will get you a deal in 90 days or less. Okay. But if you want to join, email me. My email is going to be in the description. I hope you guys got some value out of this video. If you did, hit the like button, comment if you have any comments or questions or anything. Okay. And subscribe if you want to see more videos like this because I make daily videos about wholesaling real estate, self improvement, and just life in general. Okay. Stay motivated. See you guys in the next video.